Reading your bio, it says you almost lost your life twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
The second time was a car accident.
Second time, yeah, there was a car accident.
The first time wasn't spelled out in the bio. It
Yeah,
just
nah.
made a reference to you almost losing your life. Didn't say how, didn't say why.
Yeah.
It left it very to
Vague.
your imagination.
Yeah.
Is that something you can speak on?
Yeah, I don't mind speaking on it. So it was 2017. I was with my boy P, my boy Tote, and we used to always pull up to this little apartment complex and just smoke on some shit. And I had wanted to go get something to eat, so we was finna go to the McDonald's right up the street from the apartment complex. And at the time, I had just bought a new little gun or whatever. I mean, we was outside kind of heavy. At the time, we was finna go to this McDonald's. We pulled up to the light, and as we pull up to the light, I can notice we was in the car. We ain't had no tents on the car. We was in a little, I think it was like a '03 Taurus or whatever. It was a small little car, no tents on it. And I noticed somebody pull up behind us in like a little new booty Jeep or something like that. Niggas had tent, they was tinted fire, goddamn me. Motherfuckers had their high bands on. It was a new car, so you know they had them LED joints, lighting the whole car up. You see everybody in that motherfucker. I mean, shit, we pull up there, they bumper to bumper with us, like, motherfuckers like literally down there touching our car. I turn around, try to see in the car, couldn't. Ask my boy P, like, pretty much put niggas on game. We really weren't worried about it at the time too much. It was just the fact that it just looked kind of suspicious. In the area I stayed in St. Louis, I mean, everybody know about St. Louis, you know, we go down there. But, yeah, we start making our way to this McDonald's. We was still en route to the McDonald's, goddamn me. Motherfucker just was still riding us bumper to bumper. It was probably like 2 or 3 minutes to get to McDonald's. And we was on the straight street. But we was familiar with that neighborhood because, like I said, we always smoked there. And when my boy P and my boy Tay stayed in that neighborhood, so we was coming up on Tay Street. And the way Tay Street is like a kind of curvy street, so if a motherfucker wanted to get on our ass, it really would have been hard for them to do that. And I kind of had a feeling that we was finna get in that type of situation, so I told my boy PJ turn on Monte Street, which is right before McDonald's. We turned down that street, and we down there got hit doing it. So we had a kind of a leeway to get down that street, and I turned around. I was in the back seat. I turned around, goddamn me, and I looked out the back window. It was a car coming at the time, so they had to wait. But sure enough, the motherfuckers booked that right. Got the hawking ass down that motherfucking street, so I did what I had to do to protect myself, but realistically, shit, we ain't have enough firepower in that car, I'm gonna say that. They flipped that motherfucker. They shot that bitch 20 times. Police said they had an AR-15, AK-47, and then, you know, they found the shield that we had in our shit. But, yeah, they flipped that bitch. I was sitting in the back seat. Police told me damn sure I should have died. Like, I got pictures of the car. Like, they totaled the car. Like, we ended up landing in somebody's backyard because they shot the tire out. They tried to shoot the gas tank out. But when they shot the tire out, the car spun out of control, landed in somebody's backyard, and it just happened to be on the dead-end street. Me, at the time, I ain't gonna lie, I was popping pills. I was on drugs heavy. I was on the Xan kind of at the time, so I kind of dozed off doing the whole altercation. But after I woke up, probably like a couple seconds later, PJ them got out the car, and they dipped. I was the only one in the car. The shit was like a movie, goddamn me, that shit. All the windows was busted, all the doors was open. And I heard from the neighbors after we after we got the witness statement and shit, they said that after they shot the car up, like I say, I was still in the back seat. My boy PJ them got off and darted. They say the car pulled down the dead-end street to make sure they finished the job. You know, looked out the car. Like I said, I was in there knocked out, and I was sitting in the back, and that was the first. They shot us from the back, so PJ even said it himself. They thought I was dead, because soon as the first bullet came through the window, I hit the seat, because I seen them coming. I seen bro leaning out the window, so hit the seat, goddamn me, and PJ them thought I was dead. So they dipped off, came back to the car. I was gone. I had ended up getting grazed in the leg a little bit. Really went up grazed. It was really just like a little bullet fragment, fucked my leg up, but hopped out the car, hopped somebody's fence. It was some people just happened to be barbecuing at the time, bro. I walked up to them, let them know what happened. And shit, yeah, I damn near lost my life that day. Cause the first place them shot, first bullet that went through that car was right in the back seat. I was sitting like behind the passenger seat. The first bullet came and hit, I guess like the seatbelt rest. Shot straight through that motherfucker, yo. Yep. That was that first time. Yeah.
Now, you said they were trying to shoot the gas tank. What would happen if they actually had a bullet hit that gas tank? What was the point of that part?
So me, I don't know how true it is, but I guess if you shoot the gas tank, I'm guessing they thought it was gonna blow the car up. So realistically, in my eyes, they was trying to kill everybody in that car. And like I said, they had LED lights on our shit before we even got into it with them. So they seen everybody in the car. They knew what they was doing. To this day, I still don't even know who it was, but it is what it is.
Do you think this had, I know you say you don't know who did this. Do you think this had anything to do with the other two gentlemen that was in the car with you?
I kind of had my suspicion at first, but realistically, at that time in my life, I was with them dudes every day. So it was like, anything that they would have been in, I would have been in. So any beef I feel that they would have had, I would have been up the game on it. So, but you never know, shit. I mean, you never know who got animosity with who, for real, for real. But yeah, at that time, I feel like I didn't really have too much to do with it.
Do you think this was mistaken identity?
At first, I mean, it was some speculation around it, but at the same time, like I say, you had bright-ass lights on the car that didn't have no tints on it. It wasn't tinted at all, so you seen who was in that car. You knew what you was trying to do. So, it wasn't no mistaken identity at all.
Now, was that the first time you ever encountered gunfire? Been around an AK, or what was the other type of gun it could have been? Could have been an AK-47 or an AR-15. Was that the first time you ever heard or seen either of those guns in real life?
Nah. I mean, niggas in St. Louis really getting into guns at age 12. Like, me personally, my first time being around a gun was when I was 15. My father, he always been into guns too, so, I mean, I kind of was always around guns. But I'd say that's the closest encounter I'd had with being on the wrong side of the barrel, I'd say that. Like, literally, I'm laying down watching shots go over my head. That was the closest at that time in my life. I mean, there's been other little shit that the nigga done got into, but as far as face-to-face with a bullet damn near, like, that's the closest I'd have been.
What did that feel like, being on that side of the gun?
I ain't gonna fake it. Niggas be capping. Niggas be saying, I done got shot at, I wasn't scared. Bruh, I was scared as fuck. Anytime your life get put in jeopardy like that, you scared. I don't give a fuck what nobody sit here and tell you, bruh. Anytime your life is threatened, bruh, you gonna be nervous. That's why I'm gonna say, you gonna be at least nervous. Like, you gonna get butterflies in your stomach, bruh. I don't give a fuck how long you been out here. None of that shit. Your ass gonna be nervous. I was nervous as fuck. I thought that I thought that was it for me. Especially me, I was in the back seat, bro. I thought that was it. I thought my life was finna be over.
Now, I'm going to respectfully ask these questions because I get very detailed with my line of questioning. But did you urinate during this instance?
I ain't gonna say that. Nah, I ain't pee on myself or no shit like that. But nah, I was scared though. Nigga definitely had them butterflies, boy.
Did you defecate?
Nah, I ain't do that either.
Vomit?
Mm-mm.
Now, you said that a witness said that they surveyed the car to make sure that the job was done.
Yeah, so that part I didn't see. That was a witness statement. So, like I said, the way we landed, the street went this way, but it was a dead-end street, and we landed in the backyard of the house that was pretty much on this dead-end street. So the witness said that they pretty much came, turned down that dead-end street, sat there for a minute. I don't think anybody got out the car. They sat there, kind of looked at the car, just made sure that they finished whatever they was trying to do, and they pulled off.
Now, when the car landed and you were in the back seat, obviously alive, are you playing dead at all? Are you... Obviously, if the witness was true in their statement of them saying people were trying to survey and make sure nothing was still alive or moving around to finish the job, then you would have been not moving. You would have stayed still. Yeah. I don't know if that was just in the moment or if that was strategy or what.
It wasn't. Like I said, I was on the Xan, so I was really like fucked up, kind of in and out throughout the whole process. So I don't know if they came and did that before I had woke up and got out the car or if it was after. But, I mean, regardless of whenever it was, I'm just glad I didn't encounter them niggas because at the time my guard was down, so they would have definitely got a nigga.
So did you actually pass out for a moment? Is that what happened when the car finally stopped?
Because like I said, they shot the tire out. We hit a bump. We hit the curb. That motherfucker kind of spun out. So realistically, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if it was from the drugs, if it was from being overwhelmed, goddamn me, if it was from me hitting my head. I don't know what I passed out for, but I know I damn sure I passed out, goddamn me. And I woke the fuck up, goddamn me. PJ then was gone. Should I grab my hammer? I couldn't find my phone at the time, but police ended up giving me that after they, I guess, was finished with the crime scene, inspecting it, whatever the fuck they do. But yeah, I grabbed my gun, goddamn me, and I got out that motherfucker. Ended up getting it taken, but I ain't get charged or no shit.
The gun was confiscated, you mean?
Yeah, they confiscated the gun after the situation that happened. Like I said, I got out the car and I walked, and it was kind of a loop the way the neighborhood was. I had walked, and as I was telling the people that was outside having a barbecue what was going on, PJ them had already alerted the authorities, so they had already came, and by the time I got back to the crime scene, they had already had the shit taped off. Ambulance was there, everybody was out there, and I was kind of coming up over this hill, and I peeped it. And so I was trying to think fast, not fast enough, threw my gun next to somebody's car. But it's 1,000,001 people outside, and they seen me. So, of course, as soon as they seen me, they tell police, hey, he dropped something over there. Police go over there, and they grab the gun. So, at the time, I was 20 years old. You weren't even old enough to have a handgun in St. Louis, but like I said, they ain't charged me no shit. I mean, I was using it to defend myself in this situation, so, I mean, they really ain't really too much they can say.
What ended up happening to the... So when the car was finally stopped, the car you were in,
Yeah.
tires blown out, it didn't hit any actual building. It didn't hit the house or anything. It just landed in the backyard.
It just landed in the backyard. All of that shit was a string of luck. That whole night was really a string of luck because we were supposed to be dead in that car.
Do you think being on drugs helped you in this situation?
Hell nah. That's why I don't do that shit no more. That's why I don't even... I mean, I wrote a little song on the album about that shit, but realistically, like, that song was written like a year ago. Like, I don't even fuck with that shit no more. Just off the strength that you can't really be yourself. You ain't gonna be on all 10, goddamn, you can't watch your back. So, I mean, that was a good thing that came out that situation. Because at that time, like I said, I was on Perks heavy, I was on Xans heavy, I was doing all that shit. And after that situation, I ain't touched that shit since, for real.
So what exactly, clarify, you haven't touched since, drug-wise?
I haven't touched Xans, I ain't touched Perks. Anything pill-wise, X-pills, none of that shit laying out. I just smoke my weed, bro. I don't even fuck with that shit no more.
And you stopped with the flip of a light switch?
Cold turkey. Like, don't get me wrong, I ain't gonna say it was easy. Cause like I said, I was on that shit, and once you've been on that shit so long, your body become dependent on that shit. So, I mean, I ain't have withdrawals like bad to where I had to go to rehab and no shit, but I definitely had some cravings. I definitely had my little sweats and chills and shit, but other than that, I stopped that shit. I was able to do it.
How'd you cope through that stage? The chills, the sweats, and...
I smoked a lot of weed. Bro. I smoked a lot of weed. And then at the time, I was fucking with a girl, and I thought she was pregnant at the time, so I kind of used that to motivate me to kind of get out that shit.
You were already smoking marijuana prior to you stopping these pills and things of that nature?
I always smoke marijuana. I always been smoking weed. Like, since I was like 15, that's really when I got on that shit. I just been smoking ever since then.
What ended up happening to the car?
They impounded it. Police impounded it, took it to a little lot. We had to go pick that motherfucker up. And that's when I took the pictures of it, because when we looked at that motherfucker, it was just like crazy. It's just crazy to see where all them shots hit and see how close it was to us, how close that shit was to just ending us. That shit crazy.
All three of you survived. You were the only one that got hit by a fragment?
I was the only one, because I was in the backseat, but other than that, everybody survived. I don't know how we ain't get hit, but we survived, though. That's why I say it ain't nothing but God.
The car was a total loss?
Yeah, it was total. It wasn't repairable.
Whose car was it?
It was my boy PJ car. It was his first car. We used to be outside in that motherfucker. We was out there every day with that bitch.
What is the title of the song you were referencing here a second ago about when we were talking about the drugs?
That song called Blue Raspberry Vest. That's just some St. Louis shit. I named it after a soda company in St. Louis.
And that song is still available if people want to hear it.
Yeah, it just dropped on my album yesterday.
And what's the title of the album?
Title of the album is I Die Sometimes.
And it released on, go ahead.
IAMNOTJAVI, I Die Sometimes. Yeah, it released on all platforms.
On July 23rd.
July 23rd.
2021. Yeah. And it's July 2021 for time reference as of right now. Looking back, what do you think your key to survival of this shooting was?
I really couldn't even tell you, bro. I really think that shit was just God. Like, I was supposed to be gone. I couldn't even, like, say that I did anything myself that protected me. Like, yeah, I let off a couple shots, but I mean, it wasn't nothing. If that was if those shots that I let off was what I was banking on to save my life, everybody in that car would be dead. For real, for real. Like, that was a number God.
Do you follow a religion?
Not strongly. I mean, I believe in God. I was raised on Christianity, but as you get older, you get your own beliefs. You kind of get your own interpretation of the world.
Raised under your mother's side or father's side?
My mother's side.
Was it a certain go ahead.
No, that was just my mother's side.
Was it a certain denomination under Christianity she raised you?
Not for real.
And do you remember what age when you start to have your own thinking and things of that nature that you just described?
I say really in my 20s for real. After I really got out, start being on my own, like apart from my mom's, cause she stay in Dallas, so she moved to Dallas when I was about 20. So after I start really being on my own and just start really learning the world.
Now, aside from not partaking in those selected drugs you've already mentioned in this interview, mentally, what does this incident do to you after?
Like, really, it just made me not want to be on drugs, bro. Like, cause at the time, like I say, I wasn't in no beef. I don't really be doing that beef shit. Like, that shit landed me. I don't really entertain it too much, but I couldn't, like, I don't know why that shit would have happened. So the only thing that I could look at as a lesson from that shit is you don't need to be on these pills. Cause realistically, if you wouldn't have been on them pills, you would have been able to protect yourself more. You would have been able to be thinking on your feet more. I mean, yeah, I said turn on that street, but I don't know. I don't know what I could have thought of to make the situation better on our end if I wasn't on drugs. Like.
Now, you may have answered this next question through the course of this interview, but I'm still going to ask you anyways.
All right.
You don't need to answer it if you felt like you've already provided this answer, but if you want to provide something additional, you can as well. What did this entire experience teach you? What did you learn from this incident, if anything?
Shit, like I said, just don't be on drugs. For real.
And you did mention that.
Yeah.
If you could turn back the hands of time, would you have done anything different in this scenario?
Yeah, I want to pop that Zan. I probably wouldn't even went. If I knew what I knew was going to happen, I probably wouldn't even went out that night. I'd have just stayed at the crib.
Do you think this could have been prevented, this incident?
Not really. Not that I can think of.
And whoever did this to you, were they ever apprehended?
I don't know. We don't even know. I don't even know who did the shit.
Let's say someone's watching this right now, and they are on the other side of the barrel in a similar situation, a drive-by. Is that what you would consider this?
I don't know what I consider. I say them niggas got on our ass. For real. Hawked our ass down. They chased us.
If somebody watching this ever gets into a similar scenario, and of course circumstances could be different, but let's just say, for lack of a better phrase, a drive-by, a targeted hit. If they ever encounter that situation after watching this interview, anything you would say to them?
Well, your ass better watch your mirrors, and if them niggas behind you, your ass better duck. For real. Cause I don't know how the fuck you go shoot and drive. PJ couldn't do that shit. And however many niggas in that car, realistically, you ain't even supposed to be riding more than 3 niggas in the car for real, bro. But if y'all niggas 3 deep in that motherfucker, make sure all y'all ass got that hammer on y'all. And make sure y'all niggas duck. Cause boy.
My final question here. Since this incident, what's your opinion on guns?
I still love them motherfuckers, man. I still love guns, bro. I build ARs. I build Glocks, bro. Like, I do that shit for my recreational time. Like, I love guns, bro. Like, I'm gonna always, till I die, have a gun. Always.
Anything else on the subject of guns while we're at it?
Shit. The motherfuckers ain't no toys, bro. The motherfuckers ain't no toys. Motherfuckers be having guns for an image. I think that shit go along with that image. That shit don't make you look cool. Like, if you don't know what the fuck you doing with that motherfucker, you don't really need to have that bitch. For real, for real. I mean, I understand shit happen. Goddamn, everybody getting them nowadays because you really can't avoid the bullshit. But, man, don't play with them hoes, bro. Like, niggas had them hoes just for pictures, videos, and shit like that. Like, bro, I see too many motherfuckers dying every day. Not even just in my city, everywhere. Just on some little dumb shit that motherfuckers doing with guns on live with them, shooting each other, playing and shit. Like, the hoes ain't no toys, bro.